Hello friends, here I am with the next part of this story. I hope you all like the video and subscribe to my channel. So let's start the video. First of all, here its summary. Naruto saves Ino and her team from certain death, but it has been so long since Ino and all her friends have seen the hero of Konoha. How will they all react when they suddenly have their friend back? Pairing Naruto x Ino. I hope you all like the video and subscribe to my channel. Chapter 19 Confusion about romance. Naruto soon arrived back to his friends with a notable happier Annabeth, Grover and Percy chatting with his clone. His clone noticed him and vanished, making his friends surprised until they saw Naruto walk up to them. "Hey guys, miss me?" Naruto joked as Percy stuttered, trying to still wrap his head around the idea. They were not actually talking to Naruto a few minutes ago. Annabeth was quicker to get her wits together and coughed, saying, "Okay, I am going to put whatever the deal with this is on the back burner for a minute. Naruto, we were just talking about." Naruto waved her off to the collective surprise. "It's okay. I know you caught my clone up on what Percy talked about underwater," Naruto informed them as they all blinked in surprise. "How did you?" Grover asked, as clearly they were not talking to the Naruto in front of them just a bit ago. Annabeth also looked interested, especially when he referred to the Naruto as a clone. Naruto sighed as it seemed the questers blanked or ignored his brief explanation about shadow clones from the Lotus Hotel. However, much to his surprise, Percy blinked before opening his mouth in recognition. "Wait, was that a shadow clone you were talking about before?" Percy asked in excitement as Naruto smiled and nodded. While Grover looked at his best friend with pride, Annabeth felt a little annoyed. She forgot such an important detail. "Yep. So, whatever you told him, I get back," Naruto said as he closed his eyes for a minute before nodding. "I see, so Anira gave you 3 pearls from your father to get us the Underworld if we get trapped, huh?" Naruto remarked as Percy looked uncertain and nodded. "And 1. Annabeth meanwhile could feel her head spinning 1,000 miles per second with the applications of such a technique. He could literally learn a book and not have to read it himself, she thought to herself while Naruto looked at her, the corner of his eyes with amusement. Percy decided to tell Naruto his fears. "Yeah, but there are only 3 pearls and 4 of us now. If we get trapped in the underworld, how do we all get out of there?" Percy asked in worry as Annabeth and Grover also looked uneasy, having come to the same conclusion. Naruto smiled to himself, glad to see his new friends worried about each other so well. "Use the pearls on the 3 of you," Naruto told him as the demigods and Sato widened their eyes in shock. "What are you talking about? If we use the pearls, how about you?" Annabeth demanded, shaking her fists in anger and fear of losing a friend. Grover and Percy also looked outraged. Naruto gave a warm smile and winked. "Let's say I have a little ninja trick of my own to get out there in a sticky situation." When the questers gave him dumbfounded looks, he just shrugged. He gave a smirk when he saw Annabeth about to ask, and he even put a finger to his lips to her annoyance. Back on Olympus, none of the other gods saw this, but Apollo had an eye-twitching in annoyance little ninja trick. Apollo thought to himself in annoyance. Minato had to study Tobirama's notes on the flying region extensively to actually use it. Now my kid is calling it basically a party trick? It is the fastest method of transportation to places you've been to. That brat of mine, Apollo thought to himself as he swore. He saw a smirk from Artemis from the corner of her mouth appear. And 2. Back on the quest, as the questers were walking around trying to think of the next place to go to, or at least an idea how to get into the underworld, Naruto was deep in thought. Despite him thinking he might never see them again, he could not help thinking of Bianca cute face or Piper very pretty looks. What is wrong with me? First Zoe Ni-chan, Selena, Bianca, Piper and Annabeth. Why do they all make me feel strange and different than my sisters? Naruto thought to himself as Annabeth studied his face before growing a playful smirk on her face. "Hey Naruto," Annabeth called out as Naruto blinked before focusing back on Annabeth. "Yeah?" Naruto asked, choosing not to tell the fellow blonde he was having weird thoughts about her and other girls. "Are you thinking a girlfriend you are not telling us about?" Annabeth teased as Percy and Grover chuckled while Naruto looked confused. "You mean like you?" Naruto asked cluelessly as Annabeth's face turned red. Grover and Percy jaws dropped. Back on Olympus, "What?" Athena screamed before she turned to Apollo and Artemis with fury in her eyes. Meanwhile, Aphrodite squealed in delight. The other gods, even Zeus, chose to stay out of this while Artemis and Apollo exchanged a quick look. "Whoops, your lessons are coming back to bite us in the ass." Apollo whispered as Artemis frowned but accepted responsibility for this. Peace, sister. It is merely an understanding. I am sure it will be cleared up in a minute, Artemis said calmly as Athena narrowed her eyes but returned to her throne. Aphrodite's eyes darted around with amusement. Back on the quest, I am not your girlfriend. Annabeth screamed only to feel confusion when Naruto looked genuinely hurt by her proclamation. Wait! Are you saying we are not friends? Naruto asked desperately as the questers looked at each other in confusion. Naruto, what do you think girlfriend means? Percy asked carefully as Naruto blinked. A girl who is my friend. Like Annabeth is my girlfriend just like Silena is too. Naruto explained with confusion as the questers looked at him in disbelief. I know a friend applies to either gender, Naruto. A girlfriend is someone you are dating. Annabeth tried to explain awkwardly. I am your friend, not your girlfriend. Annabeth added as Naruto's face grew a bit happier. Is this guy for real? Does he really not know what a girlfriend is? Annabeth thought to herself. Dating? What is that term? Naruto asked with a curious tilt of his head. The exasperated looks his friends gave him confused him more than anything else. The phrase when a girl and boy get to know each better before maybe getting married? Annabeth tried to explain as she was dumbfounded, especially for someone raised by two parents. Judging by the looks of Percy and Grover, they were equally shocked. Oh, you mean courting? No, I am not courting anyone right now, Naruto said in realization, finally catching up to the conversation. Back on Olympus there was nothing but silence as the gods turned to Apollo, who was sighing while Artemis had a sheepish expression on her face. All of a sudden Aphrodite started to snicker before full-blown giggles appeared from her perfect lips. Ha 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 ha! You meant, oh tell me little Prue didn't teach your son what a girlfriend was? Aphrodite mocked as Artemis glared at her, but the effect was greatly ruined with the blush on her face. Bro courting came out of style months ago, Hermes said with amazement as Apollo shrugged. Hey, Artemis insisted she and Zoe teach him about girls, so I relented, Apollo revealed as Artemis glared but did not deny this truth. Truthfully, she wanted her son to hold off having any relations till he was much older, so she thought if he was taught very old-fashioned dating advice he would stay innocent for longer. I guess it was wrong of me, but I love him so much, Artemis thought sourly as she continued to hear Aphrodite mock her and Apollo for the next few minutes. Back with the quest, after trying to explain what dating was to Naruto, Annabeth reassured him they were friends but not to call her his girlfriend, as it was not. They were. Remember, Naruto, not to call Silena your girlfriend either, or else the rumors, Annabeth told him with a shudder as Naruto puffed his cheeks out in annoyance. Okay geez, I get it, Naruto whined, ignoring the snickers of Grover and Percy behind him. All of a sudden the four of them were surrounded by four thugs who had pipes in their hands. Hey kiddies, go home. This is our turf, one of them told them, and judging by his voice Naruto could only assume was the boss. The original questers looked scared but defiant until one of the thugs looked at Annabeth with a devious smile. Hey boss, maybe we should keep the little lady here, he suggested with a perverted look. AN4, Annabeth shuddered in fear and disgust as Naruto's eyes narrowed and unbeknownst to the others turned to slits. You idiot. If we get caught, we will get thrown in jail, the boss reprimanded, but he did still look Annabeth over, licking his lips almost as imagining Annabeth older. Grover and Percy were about to defend their friend until Naruto snapped his fingers. Instantly the mortals stopped in their tracks with glazed looks as Naruto gave himself a few calming breaths, making his pupils return to normal. Naruto snapped his fingers again as the thug started walking in a random direction in a daze. Naruto, what did you do? Percy asked in amazement. Just use the mist again. I just made them go grab anything they stole and turn themselves to the local cops, Naruto said smugly as Percy and Grover looked at him with approval. Annabeth gave him a warm smile and said softly, thank you for defending me, Naruto. I really appreciate it. Naruto suppressed his hot face and smiled warmly in return. Naruto's eyes narrowed as he looked around until he saw what seemed like a harmless store nearby. Wait outside. I got some business to attend to, Naruto told them sternly, ignoring the concerned looks he got. Naruto walked to the store to see a giant-looking man with a giant smile waving his hands kindly. Welcome, my short friend. Would you and your friends like to lay on my beds? You all seem rather tired. My name is Krusty, Krusty said with a warm wave of his arms. While Percy and Grover looked eager to try it out, Naruto's cold expression did not change. No thanks. Naruto said before whispering stretcher. Before Krusty could do anything but widen his eyes, Naruto drew 5 kunai into his right hand. With expert arm that took less than a blink of an eye, Naruto tossed them all so each kunai hit a vital point. One in his head, one in his heart, liver, and one in each knee. Krusty was frozen in a look of disbelief for a moment as Naruto friends looked at Naruto in shock and terror before Krusty turned to dust and his gold dust got blown away into the wind. He was a monster? Percy shouted in shock as the man looked human to him, if not bigger than most. Annabeth turned to Naruto, who took the key out of the dust to open the door to the shop. Naruto, how did you know that guy was a monster at first glance? Annabeth asked in shock as she did not even have an inkling till the dust proved it. I can see through the mist so monsters cannot use it to hide from me. Naruto reminded them as he gestured them to enter the shop, which they did still in a haze. Plus, my sisters are the hunt who are professional monster killers. They taught me most of the monsters throughout history, Naruto added with a proud smile on his face. With Artemis as the god gave various looks at how quickly Naruto defeated Procrustes. With Poseidon sighing at one of his monster sons, Artemis had a proud smile on her face and she could see an equally proud smile on her brother's face. That's my boy, Artemis thought to himself happily. Naruto was literally her heart and soul, and she believed she raised him well along with Apollo with Naruto. So, who was that monster? Grover asked nervously as they watched Naruto search the building for something only he knew about. That was Procrustes' monster son of Poseidon, also known as the Stretcher. Naruto said as Percy's eyes widened while Annabeth nodded her head. The one Theseus killed a long time ago? Annabeth asked as Naruto nodded. Wait, he is like my brother? Percy asked with shock and disgust as Naruto just shrugged his shoulders. Technically, but don't read too much into it, Percy. The gods have been alive for thousands of years, so there is plenty of things they are not proud of today, Naruto said, which made Percy feel somewhat better but also curious as well. Before anyone could ask anything else, Naruto gave a shout of excitement as he pulled out a piece of paper in triumphant. What's that? Grover asked as Naruto turned around with a smirk. A map to the underworld. You all ready to go to the underworld? Naruto asked as the others gulped. Naruto thought for a moment before he pulled out 3 silver kunai knives out of his pocket, unlike the bronze ones he used to kill Procrustes. Take these. Don't worry, they are enchanted so you cannot hurt yourself with them. Just put them in your pockets, Naruto told them seriously as Grover and Percy looked skeptical at him. They shrugged before putting the knives in their pockets. Annabeth looked at him curiously as Naruto smiled in a reassuring way. Just call it an insurance policy if you guys get hurt. Annabeth was even more curious but accepted the knife regardless before studying it, marveling at its craftsmanship. They're my limited seals on their knives will both be my exit and my emergency help route, Naruto thought to himself as he began to study the map. Chapter 20, Getting into the Underworld. After finding out the current entrance to the Underworld was at DOA Recording Studios, the group started walking there in a somber pace. Grover swore he felt something dark surrounding Naruto when the thugs threatened Annabeth, while Percy was still shocked his dad helped create that monster Naruto killed. Annabeth was a bit shaken up about the experience, with the thugs having a rough idea on what their intentions were if they captured her. She knew it was illegal for children to have sex, but it was unspoken that it was done in the dark corners of the world. Naruto saw Annabeth's scared expression no matter what kind of neutral expression she tried to put on, so he slowed down. Hey, are you okay? Naruto asked softly as Annabeth blinked, trying to turn her frown into a smile. Why wouldn't I be? Annabeth asked, too proud to admit she was still a bit traumatized from her experience. Grover sighed, knowing his friend inherited the pride that Athena was well known for. Percy didn't really get what was going on, so he stayed quiet. Naruto grabbed her shoulder gently as she winced slightly. Hey, my mom and dad hates rapists above all else, and I do too. Believe me, I wanted to slice them to bits and I could have easily, Naruto said darkly as the 3 questers felt a jolt of fear go down their spines. But killing someone, especially immortal, is bad. Unlike monsters, once their lives end there is no coming back. Naruto sighed as Grover and Percy blinked, never really thinking it. Grover had a nervous expression while Naruto sighed. Look, I know Dad likely charmed women in the past. Whether they truly wanted to sleep with him or not is up for debate. So he might not seem to hate rapists, but he would never take a woman who said no to him or use force against her. He might be a lot of things in the past, but he would never lower himself to rape. Naruto said darkly as Grover gulped while Percy sweated. Annabeth had never met Apollo personally, but she thought based on the stories he seemed pretty laid back compared to the more temperamental gods. And too, Annabeth smiled at it and said softly, "Thanks for worrying, but I really am okay." Naruto's smile returned when he saw his friend Abbott better. "I guess we never really thought about it since monsters always end returning but mortals and demigods only have one shot at life, huh?" Grover mused as Percy suddenly looked Abbott nervous before his eyes looked resolute again. Naruto nodded as they continued to walk. "Yeah, and that what makes monsters dangerous. They might not evolve like gods and mortals do, but they remember. Every time they die and return to life, those experiences accumulate along with hatred and anger," Naruto said wisely. The group remained silent for a few minutes until they reached a building called DOA Recording Studios before Naruto stopped them. "Why are we stopping?" Percy asked, eager to go down to the underworld and give Hades a piece of his mind. "Okay, I will be blunt. You guys have not been with gods for your whole lives, so you are still rather new at this, to be honest," Naruto said, neutrally staring at Annabeth as she was about to protest. "One rule is when you enter a god's domain, they can animal sense you and have a vague sense of what you are saying and doing at all times. For example, you might know it, but the gods have been watching your quest the entire time," Naruto told them as Percy looked nervous and looked up at the sky. Annabeth and Grover bit their lips, hoping they had not unintentionally offended the gods during the quest. "You mean they have been watching all this time as we risk our lives?" Percy asked angrily as Annabeth looked mortified while Naruto shrugged. Naruto gave them a look of pity and said, "Look, you guys are looking at it from a mortal's perspective, which I suppose makes sense, but gods are inherently different." And 3. Before they could ask him any more, he added, "Look, just be on your guard once we go down there. We will out of the scope of the rest of the gods, but every monster and bad thing you heard about is down there, so we will be in much more trouble." As the others gulped, they slowly descended down the dark tunnel till they reached what appeared to be a waiting room full of sad people, although they were somewhat see-through. A man waiting in a fancy suit-looking board was sitting on a chair reading a book with the door locked with a key on his neck. Annabeth, Percy and Grover were naturally afraid of going to the underworld, particularly in a way that meant they were not dead first. However, Naruto was calm as a cucumber, although he did give the spirits of the dead a look of pity. While the spirits were complaining, the man in the suit growled and yelled, "Shut up. The next spirit who complains will increase the wait time from a year to 10 years for this entire room." This outburst made the spirits whimper but quiet down to his satisfaction. Annabeth and Grover looked horrified while Percy looked ready to bring out his sword, but Naruto's quick glare made him halt his hasty movements. The man finally noticed the new arrivals and did not look impressed, although he did give a small sniff and give them a look of suspicion, much to the group's collective terror. Well, new arrival and so young looking too," the man said with fake sympathy as Naruto resisted rolling his eyes. "First things first. Can you tell me my name?" the man asked, pointing at his name tag. Percy squinted and his ADHD and dyslexia-filled brain read something like Charon, so his first thought was Chiron, but luckily Naruto coughed and decided to answer first. "I believe your name tag says Charon, I believe?" Naruto said innocently enough as Charon's eyes widened in surprise. "Interesting. That one clearly does not have dyslexia, but he seems to be aware I am not human." Charon thought to himself. "Anyways, how may I help you all tonight?" Charon asked with a fake smile as the spirits tried to gesture them to leave in a futile effort. Grover decided to be the brave one and said, "Sir, we would like to go to the underworld." However, his nervous feelings made him bleed almost like a gloat despite Annabeth and Percy's looks of horror. To the surprise of the questers, Charon started to laugh, slamming his fist into his desk at a joke only he could get. After a few minutes he calmed down and wiped away tears from laughing so hard. "Gotta say, never heard of that one before. It's always 'it's not my time,' or 'please don't take me,' or 'just let me go home. Never 'I want to go the underworld.'" Charon chuckled as the original questers laughed nervously while Naruto frowned at the man. Annabeth tried to get things back under control by saying with a pleading look, "Please sir, we need to see Hades." Charon's eyes grew dark as he picked his nose. "That's Lord Hades, girlie. Plus the only ones that go to the underworld are those who are dead, and you clearly are not," Charon told her with a glare as Annabeth reared back as if she had been slapped. Naruto clearly was in a foul mood as he seemed to vanish and reappear before sending a swift but light kick into Charon, sending the immortal into the door with a thud. Charon groaned as he tried to stand up, only to meet cold blue eyes and a knife to his throat as he gulped. What the hell? This kid movements don't match his age. Hell, even demigods of old don't have these kinds of skills. Charon thought in fear. In 4, Annabeth looked at with him fear and respect. Naruto? What happened to him? He is always so calm and nice, but right now he feels like a wave threatening to crush us all. Grover was thinking, bah. Even the hunters can't move that quick. Is this the power of Lady Artemis and Lord Apollo, child? Percy was gaping with his mouth open. Naruto is so? He is like a superhero. Normally Percy would feel jealous, but Naruto had been nothing but a true friend to him, so he was more amazed than anything else. Naruto said darkly as he carefully pinned the scared immortal to the door. Look, Charon, if you need a dead person to enter the underworld, I suppose you will do. Naruto showed his point by slowly moving his silver knife closer to Charon's neck. Charon, despite his theorist, Lord Hades will never let this stand, you brat. Naruto gave him a dark and feral smile as he said calmly, oh, in the months or years it takes for you to come back, I'm sure Lord Hades will find someone else to ferry to the underworld. Hell, maybe they might even be better than you. Charon's eyes widened at the threat which could possibly happen, as the last time he demanded a raise Hades threatened to toss him into the river Styx. Charon demanded, what are you? You don't have the scent of a demigod, but there is no way for a human to move like this. Naruto smirked at the ironic statement AN5, before backing away slightly so Charon could breathe for a moment. He kept a hand on his knife and even twirled it in his fingers to prove he could easily pin down Charon in an instant again. I am the son of Artemis and Apollo, Naruto Uzumaki. Nice to meet you, Naruto told him with a smirk. Charon gasped, having heard rumors even in the underworld about the mortal son of Artemis appearing at Camp Half-Blood. Now that he was focusing, he could see the same shade of red in Naruto's hair tips and the same silver glow in Naruto's eyes. If that wasn't enough, Naruto's next statement sealed it for him. Like mother says, I have no time for petty meals, Naruto said coldly with a glare. Charon at that moment swore he saw Artemis appear behind Naruto with the same stance and glare at him. So here are your options, Naruto told him. 1, you refuse, so I kill you and knock the door over, Naruto threatened as Charon gulped. Or you let us in your boat, ferry us over and come back. Trying to believe this never happened, Naruto offered as Charon looked at Naruto's knife and back to his own hands. Just this once. Nobody hears about this, you hear? Charon said gruffly as he unlocked the door and glared at the spirits trying to rush into the door. Naruto gently pushed his amazed friends through the door as it closed shut behind them. They followed Charon down the stairwell where his suit disappeared and his true form appeared. He truly looked like the Grim Reaper in kids' TV shows without the scythe but with the hood and skeleton face. Charon soon reached the empty boat and sighed before entering. Quickly into the boat before it changed my mind, Charon demanded as Annabeth, Percy and Grover scooched into the boat as far away from Charon as possible in the small boat. Unbeknownst to the others, Naruto threw a shuriken into the water and to his satisfaction the shuriken stayed afloat with a blue chakra aura surrounding it. Naruto, what are you doing? Get into the boat, Percy cried desperately as Naruto gave them a huge smile. Naruto, to the shock of others, kicked the boat so it started to move without him. Before anyone could react, Naruto took a big step towards the water. Naruto! Annabeth screamed in fear, fearing for the worst. You fool! Nobody can survive contact with these waters, Charon shouted in annoyance. Before everyone's eyes, Naruto not only did not die from the water, he actually stood on top of the water. He was walking on the water as if it was solid ground, not deadly water that dissolved everything. Naruto smirked as he was bombarded by questions as he causally walked beside the boat as it was floating across the river Styx. You're alive? Grover yelled in surprise and relief as Naruto sent him a cheeky smile. That's impossible. Not even gods can stand in the river Styx. No godly power can make you immune to the river Styx powers, Charon demanded, refusing to believe this was happening. And 6, well, I guess my powers don't like to follow the rules, Naruto said vaguely as he saw the thin layer of chakra on the bottom of his feet keeping him elevated on the water's surface. Percy was about to ask about himself before Charon gave him a nasty look. Don't think just because you are son of Poseidon you are immune, boy. No sea deity's powers work in the presence of the river Styx. Don't get cocky just because it called a river, Charon warned as Percy inched away from the toxic-looking water. After a few feet, Naruto decided he had his fun, so he walked into the boat without any issue or even water clinging to him as the questers and Charon gave him looks of astonishment. Naruto decided to joke, "You might want to clean up the river, Charon, it looks pretty toxic." This got a sour look from Charon as the questers gave slight laughs at the joke. I hope you all liked the video. And if you all want the next part of this video, please like the video and comment 3 hearts. Please subscribe to my channel so whenever I upload a video you will notify.